Yo.
Yo,
All right. So if you're able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, what would you want?
dude, I texted Ellie that last night, and she said that she would rather have the body of a 30-year-old because she doesn't want to be in like diapers and whatnot. But personally, I would have the mind of a 30-year-old because fuck dementia, dude, Alzheimer's, all that other shit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But
Nah,
also, like, if you have the mind of a 30-year-old, but the body, like, you would think that your mind would be able to tell your body not to shit itself or piss itself.
but did it like they come out with something that they confirmed like the mind doesn't like control the human body? You're just like living in it.
I never heard anything like that.
Like you're not the you just inhabit the human physical body. Like you are not part of the body. Like that's some like ego death shit right there. You never heard that?
No, that sounds more philosophical than scientific, but I'm not going to say you're wrong because I don't know.
That is true. I don't think it was a scientific thing. I think I just saw it on like philosophical Reddit or something.
Yeah, I mean, nothing philosophical can be proven.
I mean, but like if you have the body, like my great grandma rap is 93 or 94, and she still walks around on her own. She still talks. Like she still eats on her own. Like she lives by herself. Like her husband had Alzheimer's, and he died when he was like 60 or 80, low 80s, because it was like when I was younger.
Another thing you have to consider too is like if you have the body of a 30-year-old, does that mean like the insides are the same or is it just the outside, like what people can see? Because like if you walk up, you like an attractive 30-year-old, someone walks up to you and you start talking like an old man or an old woman, I think that would throw them off.
Like, oh, you old whippersnappers, and you got like a beard and like all black hair.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of factors to that. I mean, it's the gray area, of course. It's interpretation. It also depends on the person. Um, so another question. Your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be and why?
My bag of weed.
Why?
I'm not trying to be homeless and stressed.
I mean,
I'll still
could you
be
just get
stressed,
that?
but I mean, yeah, but then I have to buy it again. Plus, all my possessions just burned down, so I don't have money.
I mean,
What
yeah,
in my house is worth taking from the fire? Maybe my computer, but then I can't have my monitor, mouse, desk.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess if you're not having to save Zeus, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Is this my car count, or is that not burned?
That's already outside.
Yeah, I'm good on the car. I could live in there.
Hmm,
I mean, shit. When my house flooded, like I lived in a hotel for 2 months.
you're right.
Dude, also, I can't believe that when we went on my bloggy, we found the random like worker dude like speaking Spanish on my bloggy. Like he just took it from my room or something.
And started recording. Yeah,
Yeah, he must have went through all the videos too. Like there's no way he wouldn't.
he. I. I want to know what he was thinking
For
going through the
real.
videos.
So like, oh, this kid's fucking stupid. I'm gonna take as long as I can. My mom was saying something how like they took so much longer than they actually should have.
Probably because they were fucking around.
Yeah, I'm a fucking bloggy dude.
All right. If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them yet?
Um, you answer that question first.
Oh Jesus.
Mic off.
I mean, I feel like there's obvious answers, like telling someone you love them, but I don't know. That's tough. Cause like a lot of people that I'm close with, like my
Mic
family,
on.
we don't say I love you to each other all that often, and that's just normal. It's implied,
Yeah,
so that wouldn't necessarily bother me. Like honestly, saying bye to people sometimes not saying bye to people sometimes bothers me. Just because, like, if that's the last time you're gonna see somebody, it'd be kind of weird.
I mean, I would just go
Like,
out with some like advice, some good advice.
you're going out with like words of wisdom.
Yeah, because like you said, like it's implied that you love them.
Right.
So like, if I'm dying, I'd be like, yo, like you're not dying, dude. Like go do something. You know what I mean? Like go do something with your life. Like get off your ass. I don't know.
Yeah.
Find a hustle. Invest your money. Be financially stable. Be financially stable enough to retire and not work up until your death.
Yeah.
Mic off.
Um. What if anything is too serious to be joked about?
Mic on.
Everything in 2019.
But this is in like our opinion, because I feel like a lot of people just disagree with everything being so serious, so sensitive. Maybe not the majority, but I mean, we, of course, I mean, I think everyone makes jokes that said out loud in front of people they wouldn't know would throw them off or not sit the right way. I mean, I we
I
could say we do it. Fuck, I mean, you know, not everyone is completely innocent of everything,
like somebody doesn't have the same sense of humor as you or something.
right? Like if someone is, I don't know, I mean, we all know people like that. I think the majority of the people nowadays are going to be more sensitive to certain things than others.
Well, plus like it's like a social thing with everybody being like sensitive to a certain subject, but like other subjects could be sensitive for somebody because they had a past traumatic experience or something like, and you didn't.
Well, yeah, and
So you're gonna,
that's just being aware
yeah.
of who you're talking to and when you're saying it. You
But
know,
like if you're at a party and you say some shit and you're a loud talker, dude, and like you just awkwardly like you say it confidently and then like everybody just awkwardly looks at you like, oh,
and also just like
I feel
context.
I feel like abortion is like one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
Cause like,
yes.
cause some women don't care, and then other women are like, I don't know why I had to do that, but I had to do it. And some women are like, I'm glad I did that. Some women don't even try and think about it. Like I don't know.
I can't speak on that too much because I know nothing, and I probably never will because I'm not a woman.
Well, I don't know. I just follow like the R/2 chromosomes, and I think it's just basically about like a whole bunch of people. Like it's not people. I think it's mainly women, and they're just like talking about their like past traumatic experiences or like something that happened where they got raped or something like that. Like I don't know why I follow that. It just came up on my thing, and I just read them every day. As messed up as that sounds, but like
I guess that's
I
something we could say. Like,
I like to know what you like have to do, like because people give so much like advice on there, like after they get like raped or something, like they're like, oh, like don't shower, like go and get a DNA kit, like I don't know. It's just like I wouldn't say interesting to put yourself in that situation, but like you want to know like what's happening. You know what I mean?
yeah, mean, it could be like that for any traumatic experience, really. Like you take someone being in a fire, or and say like 9/11. Like how would it feel to be there and watch that? Like you're running away from that. Just imagine that. I don't want to be there, but I almost want to know what they're thinking or how it felt,
Right.
but you can't. Especially with something that most people hopefully won't experience.
Did that guy come to your high school? The one that survived the 9/11 attack?
No.
I think his kid went to Lake Central and he came and right after we got the new auditorium, he came there and started talking about how um he had to go there for work one day like right before it, like he flew there from Indiana and then I think he was there for a couple weeks or something before it happened and then like the day it happened, he's just like he can like he recalled like every single moment and second of that day. Like the entire day, like even after what happened. And he
Which is impressive.
yeah, I think he drove home too.
You couldn't fly, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive if he was actually able to account for all the memories he had from that day, because usually when traumatic stuff happens like that, your mind goes into fight or flight, and it just basically shuts down and just goes into survival mode.
Yeah.
You're not worried about all that other stuff.
I think that's why people like black out when they get like really angry too.
Yeah, that's the fight.
Yeah.
It happens to me all the time.
Same. Well, only when I get like really mad.
Right. Yeah, it's just not just happening on the reg. Try and find another question. All right, these are getting weird.
Yeah, I looked at the list. Like the bottom half of the list is kind of like really personal. But that's what the list says it's for. So
Um, if a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
the future of Bitcoin and how it comes out. Cause like it's basically right now, dude. It's the Fed is just printing money, and I mean Bitcoin is just a math equation, like in the simplest sense. But it's decentralized and it's digital. It's not a physical object that you can hold. It really serves a lot of good purposes, but I think I want to know like how the if it happens, the fall of fiat and the rise of cryptocurrency occurs.
I mean, I think with the way everything is going, you would think that eventually some type of cryptocurrency, maybe not even just Bitcoin, would become prevalent. And why not? Because then you don't have to deal with exchange rates or anything of the sort.
And
You go to
transfers are
Japan,
instant, they're cheap.
well, there it doesn't even have to be really a. I mean, yeah, you go to Japan, it's all on your phone. It's a Bitcoin. Everything's the same price everywhere,
Yeah,
and that would be extremely difficult because you'd have to get rid of large parts of economies, and that would be the part that would halt it from ever happening. But with the technological age continuing to grow, you never really know,
right.
because it
There's
really came out of nowhere.
there's almost 8 billion people. Like somebody's gonna figure out how to do that.
Yeah. I mean, some random dude from Harvard that they literally don't know who it actually was is the one that created Bitcoin.
Oh, he's from
He wrote it
Harvard.
in a thesis for his paper, but they don't know who it was. He wrote under a fake name.
Satoshi.
Um, I probably I watched a documentary. It was about this guy. It was this guy that makes a bunch of documentaries, but he just tried to survive off of just Bitcoin, not allowed to use any money. But Yeah, they were saying that it was from a dude from Harvard that they actually had no clue who it was because he wrote it under a fake name, but he's the one that created the concept for Bitcoin.
And you like turned it in and got a grade for it, or
I think so. I watched it was it was a documentary I watched in like my first trimester of senior year of high school, so
uh,
kind of removed from it.
yeah, just a little bit. How about
I'm
you?
looking it up. Uh, for that question, fuck. I definitely don't want to know the future because then you have nothing to look forward to,
That's true.
and that also implies that your future is already laid out for you, which I would like to think it's not. I would like to think that if I choose this path, then my path completely changes. You know?
If you have you like to think you have free will.
Yeah. Yeah. It was Satoshi Nakamoto. That's
Yeah.
the guy. Um, but
Mic off.
I mean, the truth about myself, I don't even. It's hard to really like the truth about myself in life. Hard to tell when it's not even a third of the way through. Well, if anything else. I mean, I'm sure like there's government stuff everyone would want to know.
Mic on.
Aliens, maybe.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know.
a I'm a believe it when I see it
Mic
type of
off.
guy. Like I don't not believe in aliens, but also like the green little dudes you see and the Hollywood depictions and all that. I don't believe in
Mic
that.
on.
Well, like when you take DMT, like people report experiences of like going into other dimensions and like talking to little green elves, aliens, like Martians, like different like animal figures. Like the little green elves have been reported by more than a handful of people. Like it's something that's commonly seen when you take DMT.
Mic
Yeah,
off.
I mean that also I don't know
Mic
because that
on.
doesn't
Mic
necessarily prove
off.
the existence of aliens.
Mic on.
Could just be something in our mind, a figment of our imagination.
Yeah, but I mean, what if that's the aliens' way of like reaching us?
I don't have much to say about that one because there's just that's so abstract.
That is.
Like there's no way to even create a link or a chain between those two concepts.
Between aliens and DMT?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people say um, that right before they're about to die, they see like a light at the end of the tunnel or some like warm, godly presence. And like when you're about to die, like your brain releases DMT for 7 minutes and it like replays like memories of your life and stuff like that.
Right.
But that's if you die like from natural causes. And then like it's similar to the experiences that people have had with DMT.
Mic off.
Um what would you no. Do you have a
Mic
secret
on.
hunch about the way you'll die?
So when I was little, I had this recurring dream where I would wake up trapped in like it was like when dinosaurs still existed and like this caveman family was like living in a carved out mountain and the mountain was thin enough to where you can enter from one side and then like walk through like about like a house living room's length, and then you could see the other side. And they had like a cutout like stone window of like the rest, like the other side of the mountain, and um, they locked me in a basement. It's like a like you just go down a whole bunch of stairs. It's a straight line of stairs. It's probably like two or three stories, and it's just like a dark stone room with no lights. And the dream starts off me being locked in there. I don't see anything, and then like somebody opens the door, and it's like this ugly ass cave woman with like a leopard, like what the Freddie Flintstone's wife has on, kind of.
Like a stereotypical caveman,
Yeah, like
cave woman.
yeah, like the leopard print one sleeve fucking shirt, and she takes me
Toga.
upstairs, and then I don't know. I think I go out the front door and there's like a RV. Maybe they cook meth or something. I don't know. And then I go out the front door. I'm standing by this RV. I think I don't know if I was trying to run away or not. And this like pterodactyl swoops me up, takes me to the other side of the mountain, and like all of a sudden like I'm standing on top of this structure. It's kind of like the whirlpool or the thing where you slide down at Deep River where you have to like go up all the stairs and there's like a big platform with the two slides on each side.
Yeah.
So I go, he drops me off on that, flies away, and then like I go down the stairs and it's like a building. It's like a dark building, and it's like you could see the above, like the cracks of the wood, and it's like leaking and stuff, and there's still like mold and shit and sunlight peeking through the fucking the wood grain. I don't know. And then like these cyclops, there's like a whole family of cyclopses, and like I think I talked to the cyclopses, but that's all I remember. And it happened the same way like more than 5 times, and I would like wake up a couple times in the night and like try and dream about it again so I could be like, what the fuck is going on here, and like figure it out. But I think
Uh,
that's how I'm gonna die, dude.
but you never died,
I think the Cyclops has killed me because I don't remember anything after that.
so you're you're gonna be killed by a cyclops.
Yeah. Other than that, I have no idea. Maybe lung cancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I can tell you, I don't. I mean, I've never had a dream like that. I tend to not like to think about it because I feel like you can speak things into existence. You know, I mean, I can tell you, like, my mom, she has always thought she's gonna die by a tornado.
how did
she's
she
never,
feel? How
she's
did,
never been in one,
how
but
did how did she feel when that tornado almost touched down like right on Main Street by Dairy Queen in my grandma's house?
I mean, I'm sure she was flipping out,
She's like,
but
"Oh, it's coming."
nah, she wasn't showing it, but I mean, I'm certain she was flipping out, or she's just accepted it at this point. She's just waiting on it. I mean, I, we don't really know. There was no traumatic experience with a tornado that has caused this, but that she's dead set on that. Not or no pun intended.
I'd be worried about dying from a nuke more than a tornado,
I
considering
mean,
who's
that's
in office.
instantaneous though.
I mean, not if you're like far enough away from it from to where the blast doesn't kill you and it's just like radiation damage.
Let me just say though, if we're gonna get killed by a nuke, I want to be like one of those people in Japan where their shadow was on the wall or the stairs, and the radiation or the whatever the explosion was so hot that their shadow got burned into the stairs and it's still there. Like if it's gonna happen, if it has to happen, and
What
I'm gonna die,
what
I
pose
want
are
that to happen.
what pose you going out with?
Middle fingers,
I
both of them up. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the shadow, but
was gonna say, depending on which way like the explosion's coming from and like how you could set up the shadow, I would be like,
I mean, I'm looking at the shadow on my floor right now, and I can see two middle fingers. So,
But it's coming from the window.
no, that's coming from above. I don't have my window open right now.
But the blast will like kill you from the window.
I mean, who's to say I'm inside? Maybe I'm right in the middle of everything. Whatever everything is, I'm right in the middle of it.
Depending on like the angle, I would just like cop a boner real quick and like stick it
I
out.
mean, you better hope you're actually able to, get up because
Yeah, if the
you're
world's
gonna
ending.
live a life of sadness, live an afterlife of sadness if
For real.
your little chub chub gets ingrained on the earth. That went different places than I thought it would.
Mic off.
Let's try and do a deep one. I don't know.
Mic on.
No, this one's kind of creepy. I don't know if you want to answer it. Of all the people in your family whose death would you would find most disturbing, wait, of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing and why?
I saw that one. I didn't know how to answer it.
I don't know if I want to answer it. It's creepy.
Answer it.
Mic off.
Like disturbing? I mean, no one in my family is involved in anything. I mean,
Mic on.
I mean, I don't know. Disturbing is weird. Like,
That's a weird way to phrase it. Yeah.
if you're not involved in anything shady or with the wrong people, then how exactly can your death be necessarily disturbing? I mean, any death could be disturbing, really. It all depends on how you define disturbing in this context. If it means like out of the blue or the person that might die first, maybe I have an idea. But disturbing is just an odd word to use.
Like like disturbing like somebody like took a kid and then like chopped them up or something. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, or like someone gets
Yeah.
caught up with the mob and you just never see him again.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit disturbing.
I mean, I guess we should mention this that this is an article from the New York Times. The title of the article could be ignored. The 36 questions that lead to love. It's not really for that, but accreditation to them. These aren't our questions.
It doesn't have anything to do with love whatsoever.
No, we're all actually
Mic off.
avoiding all the ones that have to deal with love. We've dodged all of them so far. Um, have you heard of the what's it called? The Mandela effect? Um, it's like something that is believed by a large amount of people, but it's not actually true. Like the reality of it, it's never been that way.
Mic
Like I
on.
asked my mom, my sister, and my dad if do you think can you picture the Monopoly man?
Yeah.
Does he have a monocle?
What is that?
The one eyeglass piece? Like that
Uh,
rich people wear?
yeah, I can see it, but I know that he doesn't, right?
Yeah. But I asked my mom, my dad, my sister, and my brother-in-law. They all said he did, and they were like shocked to find out that he didn't. Like,
I
it's
never
just
saw
weird.
him with the um monocle.
He's not like on all the packaging and branding and marketing. He's not. He doesn't have one. He's never had one. But a probably the majority of people think he does.
Like the Fruit of the Loom logo.
See, that one never got me.
I thought it did have a cornucopia.
I don't think I ever thought it did. When I saw that, I was like, that's not. That doesn't really take me aback at all. But it's just weird. Like, I mean, the root of the Mandela effect, the reason it's called the Mandela effect, is because people thought that Nelson Mandela died in, was it the 80s or 90s, when he went to jail and came out. People thought when he came out and his parade after he got out of jail, they were celebrating him getting out, but they thought that they were like celebrating his life because he died. So that's why people thought he was dead, even though he died in 2013.
Didn't he become president of a country?
Yeah, yeah.
Which country?
For that entire time, it was a country in Africa. I don't want to be wrong, so I'm just gonna say that. I'm searching it up.
I want to say Nigeria, but I'm not sure.
Well, it says he's South African. So, yeah, he was the president of South Africa. But it's just weird how that works, and that brings in the theory of parallel universes. I'm not sure how much the Mandela effect supports that, but nevertheless, it's interesting. Like that, just another you could be around living almost the same life, but little things are changed. Just minuscule freaking things are
And you just
changed.
like swapped consciousness with the guy in the other reality.
Yeah, like when that's what they say that parallel universes and the Mandela effect are, is that you're just slipping in and out, or the other universe, a parallel universe, finds its way into ours, and that's how we get it mixed up. I used to find the Mandela effect to be really creepy, but anymore it's just interesting.
It is. It's crazy to think about that stuff.
Do you know what string theory is?
Not really.
Yeah, me neither. I looked it up because and that got me thinking about it. I know John knew about it at some point, and he probably would have been able to explain it. But the Wikipedia for string theory says in physics, string theory is a theoretical framework in which the point-like particles of particle physics are replaced by one-dimensional objects called strings. It describes how those strings propagate through space and interact with each other. On distance scales larger than the string scale, a string looks like an ordinary particle with its mass, charge, and other properties determined by the vibrational state of the string. In string theory, one of the many vibrational states of the string corresponds to the graviton, a quantum mechanical particle that carries gravitational force. Thus, string theory is a theory of quantum gravity. That didn't help me at all because I don't know anything about that.
That did not help me either. English.
Yeah, basically. I didn't know it was a physics thing. I thought it was just. I thought it was something like parallel universes, but maybe not. That's way too complex for me to comprehend.
Me as well. Me as well.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah. Spirits. Of course I do.
Now, do you just believe in it because it's just like the way you think, or you have reason to think it?
Well, um, when I was a kid, I was like one. I think it's right after my parents had me. They were living in this house on Hart Street, and
Sounds like a horror movie.
It really does. The house on Hart Street. It was right across the street from the Dyer PD, and now it's like a. I think they tore it down, or it's a State Farm like insurance building. I think they tore it down. And my mom said that she saw like a guy walking out of the corner of her eyes when I was in the other room, and then that's pretty much it. But that was like the room I was in, and that was like pretty much like the first paranormal experience like I had, but I don't remember that. And then like shortly after my great grandmother died, I was living at my grandma's, and I ran up the stairs, and like I was like 3 or 4 steps from the top, and all of a sudden there was this like giant black mass. It was like orbs. Like it wasn't like orbs like that you see in like videos, but it was just like a cloud of blackness, and like you could see it. And like I don't think that was my grandma. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it didn't feel like it. Like because as soon as I saw it, like I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Like it like genuinely freaked me the fuck out. Like I looked straight at it, and then I just started crying and ran back downstairs fast as fuck. And like I don't think I got like lightheaded, because I didn't ever get lightheaded like that in my life, like at that time. And then like what the hell could it have been?
Right.
Like was it my eyes like adjusting to like the light upstairs, or like what? Like but I know what I saw, dude. It's like a fucking black cloud. And then my grandma Val took me to this, what was it? It was like a haunted school in Chicago or something. And I mean, I didn't really like see anything there, but I did get like creepy vibes. I do feel like creepy presences sometimes. Like it's not just like anxiety. Like I actually genuinely feel like,
Energy.
yeah, like there's something else in the room with me. Like it only happens rarely. It's not like I'm a like freak. I don't know. Not like I wasn't gonna say like a schizophrenic, but like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I'm not just sitting there like tripping balls.
I mean, I've never had anything personally that I can recount. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, the house I live in, it's only been occupied by us. It was built for us to move into it, so there's nothing there unless we're on a burial ground or some shit. But I mean,
Yeah,
the
dude.
only
It,
the only evidence I could ever cite is BuzzFeed Unsolved. They do a lot of paranormal investigations, and whether or not they can be accredited, I think they can. It seems like they try really hard at what they do, even though they infuse comedy into it. But just recently, their last episode, they had a full-bodied apparition caught on camera. What they think to be, you can't ever prove that, obviously, but
can you send me a link
yeah, let me
on
find it.
Discord?
Yeah, I mean, I really like watching these dudes. There's one guy that
Mic
takes it
off.
completely seriously. He believes in it completely, and then the other guy is the complete opposite of him, and he just makes fun of him the entire time because he doesn't
Mic
believe in any
on.
of it.
I think I saw that when they did the haunted museum one. Did you send that to me?
I might have. I mean, you would definitely know. Like, you've probably seen memes of these guys, and there's no doubt about that.
Holy sh!
Oh my god, that was loud. Did you hear that?
Just barely.
That was so loud. All right. No, not. Oh, I effed it up.
Holy shit!
I mean, this is the only time I really was like, dang, that's pretty weird. Like, you can dismiss a lot of things that people say is evidence, but this seemed like the hardest to dismiss out of all the things they've ever found. And they're like, I don't know if they're in season 6 or 7, so they've done a lot of these things.
Holy shit! What the fuck was that?
What part should I skip to?
It's pretty late.
Why was he laughing like that?
Oh, you're watching the intro.
I just
Looks
turned it up
horrible.
accidentally.
Warm welcome for us.
That's the guy. He's the one that believes. So they go on like individual investigations. Like one guy leaves the guy alone in the room building, and so he was flipping out, and he was just trying to make himself more comfortable. So he started screaming and laughing maniacally. He like was looking out the window. He was like, "Fuck you guys! Fuck you! Fuck you!"
I remember that. Or I feel that. I don't remember that. I don't know why I said I
This old
remember.
city jail was built on land where a cemetery.
Yeah, it's towards the end of the video because they obviously want you to stay around for the entire thing.
Did you? Yes. Oh, wow. I think the whole neighborhood heard you. Oh, really? Was it that loud? Yes, I think we have to leave. Okay. Let's just go.
Whether or not you believe that a building can truly
found
embody
it
the
yet?
sins of the past, you must recognize the Old City Jail was the site of cold-blooded brutality.
I think it's about to come
I
up.
dare say some light was shed on that subject tonight, with bizarre noises,
Trying to
physical
look through the
sensations,
frames.
unidentified movement, and a possible apparition. Tonight's investigation moves Shane and I
Oh, I
Go
saw it.
to. Oh, did you? You're like at the 27:30 mark.
I'm at. Okay, I'll go to 27:30. Because it was just a clip bit in the credits.
For context,
Okay.
this spot
Yeah.
felt something
I'm
run
watching
past me is the exact spot our static camera
Holy shit. It's like one leg and then like.
Mind if it's looking for
I mean, it looks like the arms are swaying.
the human mind.
the exact spot our
The camera
static
caught that?
where I felt
Yeah,
something
they had a
run
static
past me
camera
is the
set
exact
up
spot our
on that. Like that's one of the most active parts of that building they're in. So
spot
that's
something
like,
run past me
so they put up a camera there just in case they caught anything like they did.
our static camera
But most of the time, what they do, they have a device
felt something
that
run past me
shuffles through radio channels
spot
like rapidly, and they say that that's a way you can communicate
Yeah.
with the ghosts. And a lot of times they'll do that every time. And there'll be times where they'll say like, "Can you say our names, Ryan and Shane, back to us?" And they'll say it, and then they'll respond to questions.
spot
And a lot of times, even the guy that believes, he says that unless we get like
spot our static
3+ words or 2+ words that we can definitively tell what they say, he doesn't really believe it. But they do it every time because that's the only way you can actually get something out of it.
where
Because obviously, I don't think a ghost is actually going to be talking to you that you can hear just regularly, like someone's talking to you regularly.
Our static camera caught the figure.
Yeah.
The human
Is the exact spot our static camera.
Well, it kind of looks zoomed in at like
run past
27.
me is the exact
Where-
spot
where it shows
our
up.
static camera caught. Where I felt something run past me is the exact spot.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm getting there. They might have had to do that.
Doesn't look like dust. I'll tell you that.
No.
It's
I
definitely,
mean,
like a strolling, like something is moving.
yeah. Like the guy that doesn't believe, when they reviewed the tape and everything, he said, like, he didn't say it was like, oh, it was just dust or something. He said it could have been a car going by, or it could have just been one of our people walking by. And the guy that believes said that he can definitely say that there was no person of theirs walking by because they accounted for everybody in front of them. And it doesn't look like a car, so
Yeah, like it's taking a step.
well, it's not going by very fast either. You would
No,
think a car would be going by at like 35, 40.
it doesn't look like a light shining through. Like it has like definition, like texture.
Yeah.
Could what what's this shot taken in? Like thermal or something or
Static camera. I don't know if that's just a night vision type of thing. I'll look it up. I just know that's what they call it. In a static shot, the camera does not move or changes aim within the shot. Although the camera may move from the shot to the next shot, in a dynamic shot, the camera moves or changes its aim within the shot. Wow, that didn't help at all. I mean, I guess that makes sense though, because yeah, I mean, static means unmoving.
I think it's an extreme close up.
A static camera?
Yeah.
I mean, all the other times they use it though, it's not zoomed in or anything.
It could be
Because
also
nothing else, they
extremely zoomed
never
out.
caught anything else.
Yeah, it could also be extremely zoomed out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So, I mean, I think that's good for the first try, first attempt, first episode, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
This was Don't Get It Twisted. We'll be back talking about completely different stuff. This won't always be so serious or so abstract. Well, it'll be different stuff every time. We're definitely not tiring ourselves down to one topic or one area of life. It's not what we're about.
Hell yeah.
Peace out, my suckers.
Smell ya.